I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Is al-Baghdadi, is it a staged death? Is he really dead? That's the question that we are asking not only this morning, but we were actually asking this yesterday when we did our broadcast with Bonnie Harvey on Hebrew Nation Radio. Right after I did the broadcast, I got a text in. I have it on the screen here in front of me. I just kind of photographed it, sent it to myself because I can't reveal that information. But I got it at 8:43. Is it 8:43 a.m.? I believe it is when this text came through to me. Well, that's what it says on here. That could be the text above it. But at any rate, the question was put forth because I'd asked the question to my own source. Could it have been a feather in Trump's cap just to stage this attack? That was my question, because a lot of people were saying he was dead. And so this was the answer back to me. It was a feather in the hat for Trump, but it was not faked. Now, that's the original part. The most interesting thing, he was living in a compound based on Trump's words. This is not where someone like him would hide. Mullah Omar of the Taliban lived his last 8 years in a very primitive 2-bedroom mud brick house with one bodyguard, and that, as he goes on to say, because I'm having to switch to the next text here, I just photographed it. Primitive 2, brick house with that, and that's why they could never find him. So he was under protection from some intelligence service, same as bin Laden was, and he was living in a compound. All right, then he concludes it. He says, the strangest thing in all of this is the fact that this happened right in the heart of Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra heartland, so how could he hide in the midst of his arch enemies that would have killed him in an instant if they knew he was there? Now, I was thinking maybe I'd share that with you guys here on Israeli News Live. Maybe I did not, but I knew I'd spoke about it yesterday when I got it, and it turns out it was when I was on with Bonnie Harvey on Hebrew Nation Radio. We did the pre-record. Of course, it was uploaded yesterday. This morning, though, RT, one of their guests, was sharing that exact same thought. How could he be killed? And they said that even the Russians are questioning it, whether or not he was really killed, because what would al-Baghdadi be doing in Idlib, where there is no safe haven for him? Let's listen to President Trump where you can tell he's reading a script because he's going very slow, but just listen to what he says here.
Tonight, the United States brought the world's #1 terrorist leader to justice. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He ignited his vest, killing himself and the 3 children. Baghdadi has been on the run for many years, long before I took office. But at my direction, as Commander-in-Chief of the United States, we obliterated his caliphate 100% in March of this year.
Now, the video that you're seeing now purportedly shows the site where Baghdadi had been hiding out.
Listen to
Donald
this.
Trump said that the terror chief fled down a tunnel with 3 of his children when U.S. Special Forces stormed the compound. Then, as you heard Mr. Trump say, Baghdadi then reportedly detonated a suicide vest, killing himself and his children. Russia's defense ministries responded to the US president's announcement with skepticism, saying it has no credible evidence of the strikes. Last hour, we asked Michael Maloof, who's a former Pentagon official, what the development, if true, will mean for ISIL.
Well, I think it'll give it fresh impetus to continue on, but the question is the successor going to be as charismatic and unifying as possible? Now, I'm hearing that even with Kardashian, there are elements within ISIS which is fragmented in different parts of the world that have their own ideas of who should be the titular leader that can unify the group once again. But Kardashian was appointed by al-Baghdadi, and so he may become the heir apparent unless someone supersedes that.
I was listening to it live this morning, so I wasn't in this particular broadcast here, but at least you were able to see that even the Russians do not believe that he was actually killed in this, or skepticism that he was actually killed. One of their guests on this morning in the live broadcast, so did reiterate what we had said yesterday on Hebrew Nation Radio. That's Flashpoint for those of you that would like to go watch that broadcast. First part of the broadcast, first half hour, we're talking about the Noahide laws and how that Yana has really brought a lot of people to talking on this subject here. Which, don't forget, this Wednesday, just a couple of days from now, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be debating Dr. Michael Brown here on Israeli News Live on the subject. And so that ought to be a very interesting broadcast. Hope you'll be tuning in for that. And so the question is al-Baghdadi really dead? Fourth time, by the way, that he's been killed, or is it fifth time? I forget which one now, but so many people have claimed to kill him thus far. But this time, though, they may really take him off the scene, even if he did not die, for the sake of making President Trump look good. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's not true, Steve. He really got him, Well, he also said, too, that ISIS is 100% eradicated, but yet you saw the other day, even in Western media, after we'd reported this, that ISIS was freed from their prisons by the Turkish military, helped to be moved to 3 different locations for retraining and preparation for finishing overthrowing Iraq, as well as coming back on a insurgent on Syria once again. So ISIS is not eradicated, and we'll just have to wait to see how these things play out. I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Erev Tov.